Welcome to today's live stream. How are we all doing? Sorry I'm late, but wow, there's already 64 people in here waiting. Maybe I should be late more often. No. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. My name is Rob. If you're new here, welcome. It's great to have you here. Can you hear me? I'd love to know if you can hear me. Somebody give me some thumbs up. It looks like it works. It looks like it works there. Yeah, so we get together here every Tuesday at this time, well, usually 15 minutes earlier than this. We here, awesome. Thank you, Shift 14U. Yeah, so usually a little bit earlier, but was wrapping up some things. So yeah, better late than never, right? So what's on tap today? Just a couple of things I've written down to talk about. So last week, I did an experiment. Experiment? No, demonstration. Why did I write down experiment? That's the wrong word. Did a demonstration and I walked through, I actually made a video during the live stream. All right, I hadn't done that before, or not all of it. But yeah, if you were here, if you weren't, you can go back and watch it. But if you were here, you know that we came up with the idea. I filmed it in the back there. I then edited it, and you could see me edit it. And then we uploaded it, and it's on my channel. It's still on my channel. I will say, though, that what did it end up being? A 10 out of 10. So for those who don't know, what that means is it was my 10th best of my last 10 videos. So it didn't do that great. You know, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. It was kind of just an exercise to show you how quickly you could make videos, just to trying to give you that little bit of a push to do it. I usually take well, I shouldn't say I usually take more time. Sometimes that's all the time it takes, but it was a little different because I was explaining what I was doing as I was doing it. So it was a little bit different that way. I don't usually talk to myself as I'm editing and as I'm filming and all of that stuff. So, and if you recall, I spent an awful lot of time on the thumbnail and the title more than I needed to. And in fact, I've changed it. I think it was the next day I changed the thumbnail. So what I'll do is I can show you the analytics of that today. I had planned on giving you a bit of an overview. Somebody had asked last week, or within the last week, if I could demonstrate like what analytics you should be looking at when trying to figure out if your videos are doing well or not. Okay, so I can walk you through what I look at. Give you a hint though, I don't look at everything. YouTube gives us a ton of information to look at. But I don't look at it all. Okay, so but I'll show you the important things, or what I think is important. What else? Came out with a video yesterday, and that's kind of interesting. So let me just quickly go there. Actually, no. Before we do that, let me jump into let me get this off. I just noticed I've got an overlay on the screen. This guy right here. So for those who haven't yet, you can download your free copy of the YouTube Kickstart Kit, something I created in Canva. It's a 16-page PDF, kind of walks you through my process. It's a checklist, a guide, some video ideas, and some links to join Creators Cove and stuff like that. So feel free to download that if you haven't already. Also, along with that, I finally have an email sequence set up. So be forewarned, if you download that, you're going to be inserted into that sequence. Now, so far, there's 2 emails in it. That's it. So the one you get immediately with the download link, and then a day later, you'll get another one with some helpful tips. So I have to finish building all that out, but there's going to be, I'm going to say 7 emails over 2 weeks, something like that is the plan. You can unsubscribe at any time, but I promise they're not spammy. It's just to kind of further the conversation along that I start in the YouTube Kickstart Guide. So just trying to help out. But yes, there will be periodic links to things that I offer. So for those who want more than just the free stuff that I offer, these live streams, my videos, that kit, I offer coaching. I'm going to have a cohort, I don't know what I'm even going to call it, like a business accelerator or something within the next month or two. So you will be able to learn about that later. Not yet. It's not set up yet. And some courses and stuff like that. Coaching, did I mention that? Anyways, enough of that. I can get that off the screen. What did I... Oh, yeah, I wanted to go into the chat just to see who's all here. Spend a little bit of time in the chat. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I know I didn't answer any really last week because I was busy demonstrating. But I'm here to answer questions today. There's no after party today after this live stream. After party being the members only portion of live streams that I'll do every 2 to 3 weeks. We had one last week, and the next one will be either next week or the week after. I'll let you know. But there's not one today. So today I'm here for a solid 2 hours, and then we'll play it by ear after that. Okay, so who's first? I'm first. I was the first comment? No, I didn't think I was. So yeah, Ecamm doesn't always show the comments in order. Not sure why. But yeah, if you do have a question, QQQ. Put that in front of your question. And again, I won't get to all of them, but I'll get to as many as I can. So we've got Dead Osent from upstate New York. Welcome. Scott is here. Stress for Less is here. Just became a member. Awesome. Welcome, crew member. Good morning. Hello, Chris. How are you? Unacceptable, Rob. How dare you offer us free content and make us wait? I know. I am so sorry. I'll do better next time. Let's see. When we are at quarter after, he will start the countdown video. Yeah, well, actually, I started it a little bit before that. I think it was 12 minutes past. So I bought back 3 more minutes. South Africa's in the house. How you doing? Welcome to the party. Hi. Hi, Michael. Dirt Princess is here. Adventure with Me is here and has a question. Hey, Rob, just been over in California. There were so many Canadians for the baseball match. Okay, very good. Have you ever been to California? Just a random question. Yes, I have. I've been to California several times. Beautiful state. Love the weather, especially in the wintertime. Their weather's a lot better than it is here. In the summertime, for me, it's a bit hot. I guess it depends on where you go in California. But no, beautiful state. Beautiful state. And yeah, that was a sin about the, not really a sin, but about the Toronto Blue Jays losing to the Los Angeles Dodgers. All of Canada was rooting for the Blue Jays. I'm not much of a baseball fan, really. A little bit, I suppose. I'm a sports fan, but I don't follow. I'm what you call a bandwagon jumper, so I don't watch baseball all year long. But then when, the Canadian team makes the playoffs, I'll watch those. So, yeah. I'm an admitted bandwagon jumper. In case you missed Rob's post, he'll start at about... Yes, I'll start a little bit late. Nafisa is here. Hello. Demanding lit. I'm not sure what that is. Mike, hello. He has spoiled us. Yeah, sorry about that. Heidi is here. How you doing, Heidi? Let's see. All right, let me keep scrolling a little bit quicker. I see there are some questions coming in. So yeah, I look at the chat 2 different places. I'm going chronologically over here in Ecamm. That's where I can display your chat messages on screen. But meanwhile, the live chat is over here on my left in the YouTube studio. So every once in a while, I'll kind of glance over there to see if anything, sometimes I'll answer a question that just came in. All right, let me scroll a little bit faster here, looking for a question. See lots of familiar faces here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Oh, that's an interesting question. One that I can't answer, but what does a New Zealand breakfast look like? I think we have a couple of New Zealanders in here usually. Maybe we'll get some answers there. Here, it could be anything from cereal to bacon and eggs to waffles, I suppose. For me, it's usually bacon and eggs and toast, raisin toast, I love that, or cereal, like a granola cereal or something like that, with blueberries or raspberries. All very important information. Hi, Rob and friends. Going to be 87 in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. Wow. I'm assuming you mean Fahrenheit, but that's hot. I don't know that it ever gets that hot here in Halifax, even in the summer. For those who don't know, I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada. That's the eastern side of Canada. A lot of people in Canada even refer to Toronto as being Eastern Canada, but we're far more east than that. We're actually considered Atlantic Canada, not Eastern Canada. Alrighty. Eggs over easy, home fries, bacon, and toast. That sounds wonderful. Yeah, I'll be over. Did you take a course? Here's a question from Liz. Did you take a course when you were learning YouTube? Not one that I remember. So what do I mean by that? I believe and when I say I believe, I don't know that I even finished it, but when I was starting, I was in the mode of, I was just trying to learn as quickly as I could, and I was kind of scatterbrained. I was all over the place. I would buy a thing here and something over there. I bought equipment that I thought I needed. I ended up not needing. I did buy, I think I bought one of Think Media's courses, and I don't know what it would have been called at the time. Maybe it's the same one they have now. But that would have been like 5 or 6 years ago. And so I learned a lot there. But then I bounce around YouTube a lot. Most of my learning came from YouTube videos. I got a lot of stuff, and it's not, I mean, when I say YouTube videos, not just YouTube videos on YouTube, but on equipment, okay? So like I would decide one day, okay, today I want to learn about cameras, okay? So I'd be searching, there's certain channels that I like to watch, or that I liked to watch, I don't watch them much anymore, that talked about cameras and recommended the right cameras. And in my mind, I wanted to be able to do live streaming, and I wanted to be able to just make videos talking to the camera, and make tutorial videos sharing my screen. So then, of course, I needed to learn about how to share your screen, and do I do that live, or so I had to learn about OBS and StreamYard. I learned about that. It wasn't until about a year and a half ago that I finally got Ecamm Live, because I've only been a Mac user for 3 years, maybe 2.5 years now, I guess. So when I started with YouTube, I was a PC user. So Ecamm Live doesn't work on a PC. I'm going to lose this hat. It's getting warm. A lot of YouTube videos. Nick Niven is a guy I watched a lot. He's got his Saturday morning live streams where I've learned a ton of stuff from him. Who else? Peter McKinnon and Peter Lindgren. Those are two great guys. Very cinematic stuff, like learning the stuff I was learning from them is far more complex than what I do on my channel, but I just found it interesting. Like, how do you use your cameras? How do you get that coloring and color grading and all that stuff? All kinds of videos on color grading. Mr. Alex Tech is another guy I watched a lot when I was trying to learn DaVinci Resolve. He's got great videos for those of you who want to use DaVinci Resolve to edit. And I was learning color grading. So, yeah, I guess to answer your question, yes, I do believe I bought a course, but it's not one that I guess stuck with right through to the end. I don't, it was so long ago, I don't really remember. But in the last several years, no, there's been no courses. I've been just trying to learn on my own in watching videos, talking to other people, other creators like myself, and things like that. So that's what I've been doing lately. Yes, you hear me. Awesome. Thank you, Heidi. Rosanny is here. Hello. And Scott, audio good. All right. I can scroll past these. It's a great running day. Greetings from Chicagoland. Awesome. Awesome. I got to get back outside and run. I actually started back up, and over a week ago, I ran like 3 days out of 4 and felt great. And then I stopped again. I'm very yo-yo up and down with that kind of stuff. But good for you. Good for you getting outside and running. It's been raining here lately a lot. Scott says, Rob, I like how your intro music is timed perfectly with the countdown so it ends perfectly. I need to create something like that too. So let me tell you, Scott, what I did there was really, and I'm going to show you guys this. Let me go to Epidemic Sound and share my screen. Is that the right screen? Yes. Okay, here's Epidemic Sound. So what I did is, I know the song is called Evergreen Fields. Okay, so I'd locate the song that I want. Now, if I press play, can you hear? Yes. Is that volume okay, or is it too loud? And I'll try to look currently, if that was all right. But yeah, you find the song that you want. One cool thing about Epidemic Sound that it allows you to do is you can vary the length. So you notice here how it says it's 3 minutes and 14. Volume is okay. Thank you very much, Marcel. A bit loud. Volume good. Volume okay. Well, I can turn it down. Normal volume. All right. Which one was it again? This one here. There, I just turned it down a hair. Okay. Yeah, so this song is 3 minutes and 14 seconds long. The way I had my intro before is I made the intro 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Like I started the countdown timer at 3:14. All right, but then last week I wanted more time because, again, if you remember, I did a little bit of a different intro last week. I had the camera set up pointing outside, and I went down to the dock and I moved the rowboat around to the other side and stuff like that. I wanted a bit more time, so I wanted 5 minutes. So what I did is I started the countdown at 5 minutes. I started a 4-minute countdown on my watch just so that I'd be able to look to see how close I am. But anyways, how did I create that 5-minute countdown? Well, setting the timer in Ecamm Live is one thing, that's easy. But the music is 3:14. How do I make that longer? You could bring in 2 copies of it into an editor and kind of splice it together, try to match up the beat, and, pretty cumbersome. I've done it before. But watch this, if I can remember how to do that. Here, create versions. So you click here, and preferred length. A 15-second version. If I want a 15-second version, I can click there. Okay, wait now. So 15 seconds. It asks you to select parts of the track that you prefer. So let's say I like, I don't know, this part. Use selection. Okay, now it's thinking. Thinking. Do we call this AI? I think we do. There we go. There's a 17-second version. I asked for 15. So it's not always exact, but it kind of can't be. I'll just play this through, and you can notice here's a cut. See if you can hear it. Actually, that wasn't that smooth. But anyways, so I'll just stop it here. You can click on Custom and type in 5 minutes. Tab to get out of there, and I don't know, I'll just select the whole thing. I like the whole thing. Use selection, and then we wait for it to think, and it'll come up with a version that's on or around 5 minutes. Here we go. Oh, 2 versions, 5:02 and 4:58. So let's say 5:02, and let's just hear how they. Okay, let's listen to this transition. That was good. This one. All pretty good. So anyways, that's how I do that. So perfect opportunity for me to plug Epidemic Sound and my affiliate link that's down below. If anybody is interested, there is a deal. I forget what deal it is. What deal do I offer on that anyways? It's not necessarily me that's offering it, with Epidemic Sound's help. So I signed up as an affiliate.
Welcome.
So
I'm trying to be helpful. I want to see you.
Accident. Where am I going here? Yeah, if you go down here to any of my videos, where is it? Right here, Epidemic Sound. There's the link. You'll get 30 days free and then 50% off your first 2 months if you use that link. So there you go. Enough of that. I hope that helped answer your question, Scott. That's how I did that. And then, yeah, you just drag that music into Ecamm Live and attach it to your scene. And I've created a scene called Intro, right, that I've added it to that. Alrighty. Question from Alexander. Where do you get your B-roll? I actually don't currently have a B-roll subscription service. I don't use B-roll, other people's B-roll. I use my own. So when I make a video, if I want to use B-roll, like often what I'll do, let's say I go outside and I want to film myself walking and talking on the trail. I'll quite often turn the camera on and film myself walking for a bit. I might film myself, maybe film my feet, walking, maybe film, the ocean as I'm walking by it, whatever. I'll grab some B-roll like that. And And I may do that as I'm walking to the location, like before I record my video or after, either way. That's usually all I do. And then whether or not I use it depends on how much time I have to edit the video. Like more often than not with me, the way I work is I'll get back here at like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'll decide, I want to put this video out by 3, say. And, if I have time for B-roll, I'll add it if I feel like it adds to it. So I don't probably spend as much time as I should. Perhaps my videos could be better if I use B-roll more, but I'm not that concerned with it. If I am going to add B-roll, more often than not, it's in the beginning, like the first 30 seconds or so, when you really want to keep things moving quickly and keep people engaged in your video. You don't want people to click away. And the early seconds, your first 15 to 30 seconds, is when you lose a lot of people. A lot of people leave your video then. So that's where I'll, you think of B-roll as something extra that you can add that will help keep people watching. So therefore, the beginning is far more important to do it there than the end. Very rarely would I add any B-roll in the last 2/3 of a video. Okay, I don't subscribe to a service, but examples of some services you could use: Storyblocks. I used to subscribe to Storyblocks way back when, you can get a lot of B-roll clips there. But that's stock footage, right? So, I would encourage you and anybody out there who's looking for some B-roll, just get in the habit of filming stuff around where you are, maybe in your office. I've done that, B-roll in my office, like of, a shot of a camera, a shot of Peanut, right? Or the chair or whatever, right? So it all depends on what you're talking about as to what you want your B-roll to be. So anyways, yeah, Storyblocks is what I would probably recommend if I were looking to sign up for a service like that. Alrighty. Time for a drink. Question, is this software on YouTube? From @Rose. What software is that? B-roll, putting hat on chair. Yes, that could very well be B-roll. Is this software on YouTube? I'm not sure what software you're referring to. My live streaming software that I'm using is Ecamm Live. It's an Ecamm Live software that you buy from them. I also have a link to that down below. But yeah, I'm not sure what software you're referring to. Live streaming, you actually don't need Ecamm Live to live stream unless you want more control over the way you lay out your scenes, right? So, and which I do. Like I have different cameras set up sometimes, and this scene here where I'm sharing my screen, that's a custom, and that animation that happened there is kind of custom. That's an Ecamm Live thing. The border that's going around the screen and myself is Ecamm Live. If I press this intro button, that I built in Ecamm Live. I don't know if my voice disappeared when I did that, but anyway. All right. Your intro music and my coffee. Very good. Here's a question. When does YouTube become... I gotta click it again. When does YouTube become easier? Like, when do you get faster growth in subscribers or watch hours? Because I'm at 108 subscribers, and honestly, that already was so hard. Yeah, it is hard. It is hard. I just got into a bit of a stutter there. When does it happen? I can't really answer that for you. It's different for everybody. There is no right answer to that question. Some people reach 108 subscribers in the first week, and some people it might take 5 years to get that much, right? It really depends on you and the work you're willing to put in. And when I say work, I don't just mean building videos. I mean like work at trying to get better. Work at making a video, putting it up on YouTube, and then trying to figure out, is it good? Is it not? Based on the results you're getting, take a look and try to figure out, like, when are people leaving my video? Why is my video not good? Try to watch your video. This is a good exercise for anybody. When you make a video and you put it on YouTube, watch it and try to watch it as if I know this might be hard, but as if you're watching it for the first time. And is it something you would truly click on yourself? Is it something you would want to watch? Are you like, and why? Like, ask yourself that. Why would you want to click on a video? When you make a video, put it on YouTube, watch it back, and try to answer that question. Why would I want to watch this? And if you can answer that, that's good. If you can't answer that, then maybe think of that next time you're figuring out what video to make next, right? And try to make it in a way that people will want to watch it, right? Whether we're talking about the way you edit it, or the topic you're talking about, or the way you open up your video. That's a big thing. Like a lot of videos I see out there, people are saying, no one's watching my videos, and they're good videos. My thumbnail's great, but nobody's watching my videos. I'm doing everything right. What's going on? Unfortunately, the first place a lot of people go is to blame YouTube. They'll blame YouTube, whether it's the algorithm. The algorithm is against me. They're not promoting my material. The stuff I make my videos on is being shadow banned, or whatever the excuse. They're all excuses. And whether or not the reasons you come up with are true, in most cases they're not, but whether they are or not, you have no control over them. What you do have control over is how you respond. Okay? And when I say respond, I mean how you go back to the drawing board and try to make a better video, a video that will be, watched by more people. YouTube doesn't promote videos. They don't push videos out to people. Okay? People pull videos. People watch what they want to watch. That's it. YouTube doesn't care. YouTube doesn't care whether your video gets watched or not. YouTube is not there trying to figure out, how can I help the little creator, the small creator? How can I push their videos out more? That's not the way they think. They've just created a platform, and videos are going to be on that platform. People are going to watch the videos, so they're going to have, maybe 1% of the people out there are creating videos, and 99% of the people out there, plus the 1% who are creating, are watching videos. Okay, the vast majority of people on YouTube watch. They don't create. And there's a ton of videos out there. So YouTube doesn't need to find more creators. YouTube doesn't need to satisfy creators in that sense. There's enough creators out there. YouTube needs to satisfy the advertisers. Well, no, if I back it up more, YouTube needs to satisfy their shareholders, the owners of YouTube, right? Which is you and me. Anybody who has stocks or savings, 401k if you're in the States, or RRSP if you're in Canada, or whatever they call it wherever you are, some kind of a savings plan. You probably own a little bit of YouTube or Google, right? So you're a shareholder and you want your stock price to go up. So the way that happens is YouTube sells more ads, right? YouTube, owned by Google, sells more ads. The more ads they sell, the more the revenue goes up. Okay, so that satisfies most of the people that need to be satisfied by Google. All right. How do they maximize the advertising dollars they get? Well, the advertisers themselves have to be happy with the service they get from buying ads. How do they get happy? Well, they'll be happy if the people watch their ads and then maybe buy their stuff, buy their products, right? That would make an advertiser happy. If an ad goes on a video that people don't want to watch, and let's say it's a 20-minute video, so potentially there could be 3 or 4 mid-roll ads in there, but if people click off after 30 seconds, those mid-roll ads will never play. An advertiser's not going to want to put ads on a video like that. But they don't have that, they don't get to make that choice. YouTube does. YouTube has it set up so that if videos aren't getting watched, they're not going to be recommended to people because they already know they're not good videos. People aren't watching them, not going to recommend them. So what they do is they will test a video. You upload a video, YouTube is going to test it on the people they think you're trying to reach. And if you're a brand new channel, they won't know yet who you're trying to reach. The more videos you put up, you'll be giving YouTube more data as to who you're trying to reach. They'll get better and better at reaching the right people, as long as you always make your videos in one niche, right? As soon as you start spreading a wider net because you want to catch everybody, you'll catch nobody. is the way it works. So because YouTube won't know who you're trying to reach, so they'll put up your video, they'll give it 5 impressions to completely random people, and they likely won't watch because they didn't put they had no idea who to put it in front of. And if nobody watches, then the test dies and your video doesn't get put out. So wow, I talked a lot about that, but what was your question? When does YouTube get easier? The longer you do it, it gets easier. Does it ever get easy? I don't think so. I put out a video yesterday. It's doing 7 out of 10 right now. So not one of my better videos. So I'll learn from that and I'll try to think, what can I do better next time? Like, I'm still learning as I go. We all are still learning, whether you're just starting out or whether you've got an established channel or whether you've got millions of subscribers. You're probably still learning because things change all the time. And that's kind of what my video was about yesterday. Things are always changing. And when I say things, I'm talking about the algorithm. Obviously, will change from time to time. And they're under no, I can't find the word. YouTube is not obligated to tell us creators when they change an algorithm. I think they're pretty good at telling us when things change. Like, now we're going to be more focused on this, less on AI, more on real stuff, right? Or we're going to clamp down more on the AI slop, which they talked about in the summer. Right? So they can massage the rules a little bit like that. But the biggest driver in change on YouTube is the people watching the videos. Their habits change over time. Okay? 10 years ago, most people were watching YouTube videos on computers. Today, it's probably mobile phones and increasingly on large screen TVs. Okay? Way different than 10 years ago. So, what videos lend themselves better to be watched on TV? Probably 4K videos, probably longer videos, more like a TV show, as opposed to 3-minute, 5-minute videos where they're going to have to click and select another one on the TV. Whereas, on a computer, you can quickly just click, click, click and watch whatever. So viewers' habits change. And based on those changes, some creators will experience a decrease in the views they normally got. Now, it's going down. Now, why is it going down? I haven't changed anything. Well, that's the problem. You haven't changed anything. but the environment is changing. The way people watch videos is changing. The algorithm changes over time. It all changes. So if you don't also change, you're going to see a downturn in probably everything. The number of subscribers you get per day, per week, per month, the number of views you get per video, it's all going to change. Now, it could change for the better, and that's a good point too. It could change for the better or it could change for the worse for any given creator. But the creators you hear from typically are the ones where it's changed for the worse. And because videos are made, so then other creators will make videos on that. Are your views going down? Well, watch my video. I'll help you with that. Okay? Admittedly, I made a video like that. A lot of people have. I try to be as honest as I can about how all this works or how I perceive it to work. I'm not an insider. I don't know how all this works, but I do know that if things are changing and you don't also change, that's not good. You need to be willing to change as things change. I think I've beaten that to death. I said that in yesterday's video. Anyway. Monologue over. I hope that helped. Let's see now. Another question. Popping in to say hello. Hello, Eric. How you doing? Good to see you. Question. Do you tend to read comments directly from the Ecamm comment panel as opposed to trying to read them in the YouTube Live Studio panel page? Both. For me, the font is larger on Ecamm, and Ecamm is where you're able to click and put your comment on screen. So that's usually where I look. But every once in a while, like if I ask a question that I need a relatively soon answer to, I will look at the current one. So actually, let me grab my phone, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. All right. Hello. This is what I'm looking at. Okay, so there's the camera I'm looking at right there. This is my Ecamm Live, and here are all the comments that I can click. I can click and display these comments like this on screen. Okay, and as you can see, I'm nowhere near current. See this right here? So I can scroll, like I've got to go all the way down. I don't really want to lose my place. But if I want to know what's going on current, I come over here to YouTube Studio, and this one I've got current. So latest comment here, that's so cool. Is it okay just focus on YouTube and ignore all the other social media platforms? Yes, it is okay to do that. That's pretty much what I do. Okay, so that's what I look at. Let me change this back. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, so kind of both. It makes it hard, but it's easier when you start live streaming and you don't have, like we've got 125 people in here. Thank you guys. I hope you're enjoying this. That's a lot of people. I can't, it's hard to stay on top of, especially when my answers are 5 minutes long sometimes. It's hard to stay current. So yeah, it's just something you get used to. So yeah, and then I'll scroll through the Ecamm ones looking for a question. Here's a question. The Dirt Princess. Can you show us how to set up a feed from sign up to email program, etc.? I can, and that is on my list. I can't do it today because that's kind of an involved thing, but I'm going to get more and more into that as I've just kind of set my own up, right? So I use Kajabi to do that. Link to Kajabi is in the description below if anybody's interested. It's not that cheap though, but it does everything. MailChimp is another good alternative if you want to get started small with something that just handles emails. Another one is MailerLite. Okay, if you want something with more like funnel type things and automation, and you don't want to go to Kajabi, then you could look at ConvertKit, which I think they've renamed themselves Kit.com is one. ActiveCampaign is another one. Yeah, so, but anyways, yeah, I will. I plan on making more content, some free, probably some in a course on how to do exactly that. All right. Hello, how you doing? Let's see, Catherine. It's been great the last few days. Well, summer officially, December, as you know. Oh, I think maybe somebody else asked you a question. Where are you? I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Thanks for asking. I think I jumped in on a conversation there. Your channel is authentic, and I love it. Awesome. I think that's the way to go. I mean, I'm not a good actor, so the best, being myself is the easiest person to be. That was an amazing World Series, though. Yeah, especially if you're a Dodgers fan. No, it was good. It was good. Jays had so many chances to win that in that last game. Anyway, more of a football fan myself. And the Lions also lost last weekend, so that wasn't a great sports weekend for me. Fresh snow. Had fresh snow in the mountains last week. Wow. Very good. Let's see. All right. Oh, okay. I must have gone backwards because I already answered that question. What is your shortest video? I put one on this week that's 10 seconds long and got pretty good views. Very good. Probably good views, but not very good watch time. Mine, I think, is 58 seconds, 59 seconds. I kind of did that as an experiment. I had seen other people do a video similar to that, and it was just a motivational type of video. Let's see if I can find that. This one right here. I have 59 seconds. Again, I saw a lot of other people do videos like this.
Welcome. I'm Rob.
60 seconds could change your life. Your
Why
future
is that
self.
join popping up on me? Does that happen whenever I pick on any video?
Welcome. I'm Rob the Maritimer,
Okay,
and I
that's
want to
new.
thank you for considering joining.
This join thing is popping up like a pop-up when I go to my own channel. I did not, maybe that's new to me. I didn't think that happened. And if I've done something to force that to happen, I don't think I like that. I'd like to change that back. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Is that something you noticed as well? If you go to my channel, does that happen to you? Do you get that pop-up? Anyways, I just see something here from Mike. Go Vikings. Ouch, that stings a little bit. The Vikings are who just beat the Lions. Okay. Let's see now. There's a question. I'm trying to set up teams to develop content on a long-standing channel that's never taken YouTube too seriously. Any suggestions to how to organize this? No, I really don't. And it's because, I mean, I kind of should stay in my own lane here. I don't have a team. I am me. I'm just a one-man show. And also, the focus of most of the content that I put out and the content that I'm working on, like this program that I'm developing, a 12-week program, its focus is going to be on how to do all this by yourself. So, like, do some people, like, some people sure would like to have a team. Some people, like, and it is good advice, if there's parts of the whole creating process that you don't like to do yourself, or that you don't have time to do because you want to grow bigger than you can handle yourself, then absolutely you're going to need to outsource. It's just that that's not something I want to do in this stage of my life. I don't have an interest in growing a multi-seven-figure business with dozens of employees underneath me. I don't want that. Do I want to be successful? Sure, but I want to be successful by myself. And if I ever need help with something else, perhaps I will outsource that, right? Whatever it is. Like if I want to create a complicated PDF and I just don't have the time to build that in Canva, I may hire somebody to do that. But I wouldn't hire an employee and put them on the payroll and build a team that way. I would just hire like a one-off job. I want this job done, what's your price? Right? I may do that, but I haven't in quite a while. The last time I did was over a year ago, the first free PDF that I offered on my channel, the success guide that you could download, that I've kind of integrated into the Kickstart kit. Opportunity to throw that up there. If you want the Kickstart kit, click the link below. You can download one for free. Anyway, I hired somebody to make that first one off of Fiverr, and I think it cost me $40 or something, or $50, because I wanted it quickly. But yeah, so I really can't, I don't know. I don't know what I could tell you that would help you, other than I think good advice is understand what it is that you like to do and what you don't like to do. And what you don't like to do, perhaps you can outsource that stuff and buy some of your time back. Okay? I hope that helps. Not very detailed, but if you set up more than one channel, do you also have different emails for each? No, not if you set it up as a brand channel. If it's a personal channel, then you just have one channel. But if you set it up as a brand or a business account, your YouTube account, you can have multiple channels. I think you can have as many as you want, all under the one login. Now, you use your own email address to log into YouTube. But then if you create a channel and you want to build a business around that channel, you may want an email address to be available to the people you reach through your videos. That email address I would make different than the one that you log in with. So like for instance, for me, I log in with my personal email, but once I'm in, my channel is Rob the Maritimer, and I've set up a website, robthemaritimer.com, and I've set up an email address, workwith@robthemaritimer.com. That's the one that I put, attached to my channel. And then if I had another business another channel I wanted to set up, I'd probably create another email address for that one, right? There you go. Another drink now. I can't believe how fast time flies when I'm doing these. An hour's gone by already. I'm here for at least another hour. All right, and I will get into the analytics. I told you I'd get into some analytics, and I will. Just going to take a couple more questions here first. Here's a question from Eric. Have you ever deleted and Have you ever deleted and re-edited a video after posting for any reason? I would have said no, but I actually did do that. When was that? About a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and I can't remember the reason. There was something that was pretty bad. It was a significant edit that I wanted to do that I forgot to do when I uploaded it. So I uploaded it. I realized the mistake, I think 20 minutes later, and I deleted it. And then I fixed it, re-uploaded it, and within an hour it was back up again. And I even put a post in my community section to tell people, I'm so sorry, there was a mistake, I fixed it, but if you left a comment on that video, it's gone. Because when you delete a video, even though it was only up for 20 minutes, because of the number of subscribers I have, I get a lot of views as soon as I post a video. So that first 20 minutes, there might have been a couple, I think there was over 200 views already. So I lost those views, right? And any comments that would have been in there were gone. So that's unfortunate. So I try to discourage from doing that unless it's something, really bad or glaring that you absolutely don't want in the video. Maybe you forgot to blur something out that you wanted to blur out. That wasn't it in my case, so I forget what it was. But it was, if I forget to add music at the end of my video, for instance, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If I wanted to and I forgot and I uploaded it, I wouldn't delete it and do it again. It would have to be a pretty big reason for me to do that. And I will say that once I finally uploaded the video the second time, it kind of crashed and burned. It did not do very well at all. I think the thumbnail was even the same. Maybe the title too. I don't remember. Anyway, I don't advise it unless you have to. All right. Oh, another vote for Alex Tech. Yeah, he's a good. And Casey Ferris is another one. Another one I've learned a lot from back in the day when I was doing DaVinci Resolve stuff. Question: what's the most basic software you use for editing, or wouldn't not be easier to outsource to editors like taken from Fiverr? Okay, that's a good question. So full disclosure, actually, that's what I was doing before I started my own channel. I was a freelancer on Fiverr, and that's how I made my living. And I was doing very well at that. I started off by adding subtitles to videos, creating SRT files, translating, transcribing, and all that kind of stuff for people who didn't want to do that. But then I got into more complicated edits, creating Instagram Reels out of videos, creating Facebook ad posts, Facebook videos, all kinds of things like that. And that's kind of, I then started my own channel. So if I'm editing videos for other people, I should be able to make my own videos, right? So that was my progression. Anyways, my thoughts on that now are, again, I'll say what I said a few minutes ago, in that if there's something about the whole creating process that you don't like to do, you can outsource a part of it. Video editing is one part, and I know some successful creators, some good friends of mine, who outsource editing. They get other people to do it for them because that's just not part of what they want to do in their day-to-day, right? They want to spend their day doing other things, and that's totally fine. I'm of the mindset that, especially when you're starting, well, I don't mind editing my videos. In fact, I don't do much editing to my videos, as you've probably noticed. I leave a lot of mistakes in. I don't get that fancy at all. And because of that, it doesn't take me that long to edit a video. I can have a video edited within an hour or two of getting home from filming it. If I hired somebody, I'd have to send it to them. And probably wait a day or two and then get it back, and then I'd have to review it and say, no, change this, that, and this, and then wait another day. And then, so the way I work, that doesn't work for me very well. But again, if you feel like you want to, great. But I will say, I've been trying to say this, what I will say, if you're starting out, I would not get in the habit of hiring out your editing. I think it's very important for any creator to learn how to do it themselves first. Okay, just so you know you can always fall back on it, because it can get expensive. Like, maybe you can find a deal when you start. Maybe somebody's going to edit your video for $50. Maybe that works for you. But like, if you want to make 3 videos a week, right? That's $150 a week. That's a lot. Or, I mean, some creators pay much more than that, $150, $200 a video. Make 2 or 3 of those a week, and then that's a pretty hefty bill. And then you might get into that. Let's say your channel starts doing fairly well. And when I say fairly well, I don't mean you're making good money from it. I mean, you're starting to get views and subscribers, and the money comes much later and slower. it took me 3.5 years to get monetized. And once I finally did, my monthly check was $200, right? So that might buy me 1 or 2 video edits per month. That's it. So anyway, I think it's important to learn how to do the editing. And it just basic, right? You don't have to do much, but learn how to do everything yourself. And then as you progress, as you get better, and as your channel starts to grow, and if there's something you really don't like doing yourself, then yeah, you can look at hiring out or hiring people to do those jobs you don't like to do. But would it be easier? Sure, but more expensive is what it would be. More expensive if you hired out for everything. Is your eye better again? It seemed a bit infected in the video yesterday. Actually, so is this one. No, it is a little bit red. It's been watering. It's been bugging me. Anyways, my eye doctor says I have dry eye. I need to be putting heat compress on my eyes more than I do. She said do it every day for 10 minutes. Have a 10-minute nap and put this crystal thing I put in the microwave to heat it up and put that on your eyes 10 minutes a day. It'll really help unclog your pores. Why am I even getting into this? Because you asked. Anyways, and I'm not good at doing that. My eye will be better, and then I'll go 2 weeks without doing it, and then all of a sudden my eye's watering again. So anyway, it's not infected. But it does bug me sometimes, especially when I'm tired. All right. Alrighty. Looking for questions here. Okay, I'm going to miss some, but here's a question. Are you also using your phone on a tripod or propping it up when filming yourself getting in the car? Getting in the car. Did I ever do that? I did. Not a tripod. So I haven't done a lot of that, like sequence building, but that is something I want to do a little bit more and then kind of show you how I do it. Because like I saw a video the other day of somebody filming a sequence of him walking up on a trail, walking up to a sign, and then looking at the sign and doing something and walking away. And just that act of walking up and walking away, I think he had to actually walk up 5 times to get all the different angles that he ended up using to make that little sequence of videos. So it can get complicated doing things like that. For me, when I was in the car, I know there was the video I made when I went to Peggy's Cove and I was driving. I actually, and I don't recommend this, but when I was driving, I held my camera like this and I was driving. So I had it off to the side of me like this as I'm driving. So, I did that and I just held it there for a minute while I recorded. Another time I got in the car was after I filmed on the side of the hill, and I may have set the camera up on the seat and filmed or maybe I held it. I don't remember. But I mean, there's so many different ways you can do stuff like that, and it's all time consuming. It's all time consuming. How do you get people to show up for live streams? I have almost 800 subs, but often only a few viewers and no comments in the lives. So, okay, so great question. If you have 800 subscribers, that's fantastic. That's far more than I had when I started going live. There are several things you can do. You can advertise that you're going to do live streams in your videos. Okay, so when you post videos, at the end of your videos, just have a little quick chat, like 30 seconds maybe, or a minute, to your viewers. Say, hey, if you're interested, I'm going to be going live on Tuesday or whatever. Like the way I did it is, before my first live, 2 or 3 videos leading up to that first live, I advertised the date that I was going live. And then I put out a video, I think the day before, saying, I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow and it's going to be on this. I hope you join me, right? And then a link to it. I would set up the live stream in YouTube Studio so that you can get a link to it. And then I'd link to that in the description of that video. I would post a community post to tell people about it there. Right? So there's all those things you can do. And then once you get going and you have a regular weekly live stream or bi-weekly or however you want to do it, just get in the habit of always mentioning that in your videos. Hi, my name is Rob, and I do live streams every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. I hope you join me. I answer questions live. I do demonstrations, and I try to help as best I can. Hope to see you there, right? Just add something like that in every one of your videos. And you don't have to say a date then. Just say it's every Tuesday or whatever day you pick. That's what I would do. Alrighty. Here's a question. Hi, Rob. When should I start caring about APV, average percent viewed? My channel is 2 months in with 9 videos, and I range 15 to 35% average view duration. Some say don't even look for 6 months, and ChatGPT says plus 50%. Well, so that's the thing. Yeah, people are going to tell you all kinds of different things. And I'm going to tell you something. But whatever I tell you, how do I want to word that? Don't listen to what I have to say? What I'm going to tell you is it's different for everybody. You can look at your average view duration. Don't compare, like the number doesn't matter. Okay, 30%, 50%, whatever. That doesn't matter. What I think does matter is comparing your own videos to your own videos, right? If you're normally getting 50 to 35% and then you do a video and it does 60%, that's a good video because it did better than your other videos. And YouTube will recognize that, okay? In my experience, they'll recognize when you do better than you normally do with whatever metric we're talking about, okay? So in this case, average view duration, average percent viewed. When can you start looking? You can start looking now. It's totally fine. But you know, it's not gonna, whatever the results aren't gonna make life-altering changes to your account. I mean, there's just a couple things to look for. Like I think what's, I want to say now, I think the most important part of that graph is the first 30 seconds. How many people are you hanging on to in the first 30 seconds? Is it 60%? Is it 70%? 80%? 20%? Right? If it's low, then you need to work on your intros. You need to work on just getting to the point as soon as the video starts, and get rid of all the fluff, right? Get rid of introducing yourself and what do you normally talk about, and hi, my name is Rob and thank you for joining my channel. Didn't need to say any of that. Usually I make videos about, how to grow on YouTube. I didn't need to say that either, right? Instead, what I should say is, did you know that YouTube is doing experiments on you while you're watching videos? They are, okay? There's an opening, right? And you don't need to know what my name is, right? Nobody cares, right? And I'm not picking on you here. I don't even know if you do that. That's just an example. A lot of people feel like an intro, the beginning of a video, needs to be where they introduce themselves, and it's not at all that. You just need to, the way I look at intro, I think of it as just the beginning of your video, right? Some people use the word hook. You need to hook people in. That word sounds a bit bad, nefarious, whatever. It just sounds negative. It sounds like you're trying to trick somebody into watching your video. I guess in a way, I mean, you want people to watch your video, but if you try to trick them into doing it, and then when they watch the video, if they leave thinking, he tricked me into watching that video, and I did not get good value out of that video. I regret watching that video. You don't want people to leave thinking that. So that's why it's just best just to get right to the point. Just, what is the point of your video? And just say it. Don't try to take 2 minutes of quality information that you're going to put in a video and make a 5-minute video out of it. That never works. Try to make your video if you got 2 minutes of information, make it 2 minutes long or 1:50 long. Try to squeeze it all in, and then people will watch more of your video, and YouTube will notice that. So, oh wow, okay, yeah, let's serve him up another one of his videos. Okay, so yeah, you can look at it anytime. Anytime. All right. How do you define if a video you watch is authentic or not? I watch a lot of music stuff, and high production videos are nicer to watch, but a bedroom recording is more authentic in my opinion. Bedroom recording. So I'm assuming you're talking about music? How do I define if a video is authentic? I don't know how to answer that. You can tell if a video is authentic. I think I think you might be talking about a certain type of video that I'm not as familiar with. If you're talking about videos of making music, whether a music is AI generated or not, or if it's real, high production value. Yeah, to me, authentic means, in the style of videos that I make, authentic means I'm just being myself. I'm being real. I'm not trying to be like somebody else. I'm not trying to, I don't know. I'm just being myself. I'm being honest. I'm not trying to sell you something I don't believe in myself. Right? I'm not trying to be somebody else. That's really what it means to me. Just being myself. A lot of people think there are certain things you have to do, certain ways you have to record yourself and record videos for them to be good YouTube videos, right? You have to deliver your sentences nice and quickly. You have to stare at the camera all the time. You have to be properly framed, right? Like eyes in the top third of the frame. There's all these rules that people will tell you that you have to abide by, but you don't have to abide by any of them. They're all just kind of guidelines, and they may be correct in that, videos look best if your eyes are in the top third. If you can speak without saying and ah a lot, or pausing to think about what you want to say, if you have to do that, then I think being authentic is leaving that in your video. I sometimes cut some of that out if I feel like I'm stumbling too much when I'm making a video, or if I said, oftentimes I'll record myself and then, I get stuck and it's like, I'll say out loud, I'll say, no, start this section over. And then I'll gather my thoughts and I'll start again. So that's a cue for me. When I'm editing that part, I'll recognize, okay, I said start that section over. Okay, so I can delete that whole section, right? But does that mean that video is not authentic? I don't think so. I think that's still authentic. If I make a mistake, I cut it out. That's okay. But I don't feel like I have to deliver it in a proper way. I can do it my way. I can look at the back of my camera, not knowing if I'm perfectly in frame, and be okay with it. Okay? So, yeah, I guess that's how I define authentic. I hope that helps. All right, Rebecca's here. How you doing, Rebecca? Do you know of people who have success with short, daily update, unedited videos? I think I'm going to try this on a new channel and see what happens. Just curious of your thoughts. Short 3-minute, so 3-minute daily updates. No, I don't know of any, not off the top of my head, I don't, but interesting idea. And yeah, give it a shot. I'm all for giving stuff a shot. So yeah, give it a shot and see how it works. See if it works out for you. I'd be curious to know. Very new channel here, only 5 months in. Approximately 60% of my views are TV based. Cool. How can I make it easier for those viewers to subscribe? That's a good question. Because it's hard. Yeah, if you have a lot of people watching on TV, it's harder to subscribe on a TV. Well, let me say that, first of all, it's not like if somebody watches all your videos, but they're not subscribed to you, they're still going to be recommended your videos when you come out with a new one, because YouTube knows they're watching your videos. You don't have to be subscribed. People don't have to be subscribed to a channel to get recommended videos to watch. Okay? So there's that. So don't worry too much about that. But I do understand that you need 1,000 subscribers in order to monetize your channel. So you do need to get subscribers. I don't know. I mean, one thing you could do, and this is not something I've ever done, but you could say right in your video, don't forget to subscribe if you like this. And oh, by the way, if you're watching on a TV, I think this is how you do it. I mean, it's probably different on every TV, how you subscribe to a YouTube channel. I can't think off the top of my head how I would subscribe to a channel on a TV. It'd be a pain because you'd have to use, unless you have a keyboard on your TV, that's probably what I would do. Spend a couple seconds, not too long, explaining to people how to do it. That might be an interesting, fun thing to do at the end of your videos. All right. Oh, I answered that one. Here's a question from Carlos. Are you mostly trying to help those who want to also teach YouTube, like you, or also those that have a more of a general channel? Cheers. So no, I want to help people who want to start their own YouTube channels in whatever they want to do. It doesn't have to be helping others with YouTube. That just happens to be what I do. But when you say, or also those that have a more of a general channel, I don't really know what you mean by general channel. If by general you mean there is no clear niche, I don't recommend that if you want to grow a channel. If you just want to do YouTube as a hobby, then yeah, you can make videos about whatever you want to do. Make it a general channel and you can talk about all kinds of different things. But you won't grow very fast anyways, unless there are other reasons that, like, you might grow if you're very entertaining, if you're very charismatic, then maybe it doesn't matter what you talk about. But more often than not, it's the channels where people are focusing in on a specific audience and trying to help those people. Those are the channels and the videos that tend to do well, because if somebody gets helped by a channel, then they're more apt to, subscribe and want to come back and watch what else you have. A type of channel that would be different than that could also do very well would be an entertainment channel. If somebody is very entertaining, let's say a stand-up comedian or a comic or somebody who's an actor or actress or somebody who is fantastic at cinematography and making quality videos, perhaps they could find success because of those reasons. I guess most of the people I try to help, I think most of the people that come to me for help are people who have an idea what they want their channel to be about. Maybe don't feel comfortable talking to a camera, maybe aren't comfortable with editing videos yet, maybe are a little bit overwhelmed by all they think they have to know to be able to do YouTube. Those are usually the type of people that I help, or who are attracted to my channel and the way I help. And I kind of count myself in that category. Like, I don't consider myself an actor. I'm not an actor. I don't, I'm just a regular dude who has figured out how to make videos and kind of self-taught on a lot of this stuff. And I'm just trying to help other people do the same thing. But no, not necessarily making videos that are teaching people how to, get good on YouTube. Some people want to do that too. But it's anything. Whatever your hobby is, what I tell people is whatever you're passionate about. If you're trying to figure out what to make YouTube videos about, you want to do YouTube, but you don't know what to talk about in your videos, start with, brainstorm ideas. What is it that you're passionate about? What do you like to do? What do you like to do in your spare time? What do you talk about when you're with friends and family? What can you talk about endlessly because you're just interested in it? Is it sports? Is it soccer? Is it sailing? Is it gardening? Whatever it is it woodworking? Is it YouTube? Is it online business? Whatever it is you are just passionate about and could talk about for a long period of time, that's a good place to start. Somewhere in there's probably a niche where you can, make videos for that. So anyway, that's what I help with. All right. I'm basically speaking to a small auditorium. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. 120 people in here right now. That's cool. What else is going on? What else is going on? Oh, I see we got a thumbs down today. Oops. Don't know what I said that was wrong or didn't resonate with somebody. That's okay. A little bit of a badge of honor. Question, which do you prefer, vidIQ or TubeBuddy, and why? Well, I use vidIQ. The why, I don't know. They're both very similar. vidIQ and TubeBuddy, they're both very similar. I actually have both extensions, but currently I just have the vidIQ one installed in my Chrome. I love the graphs that you get. Let me share my channel here. So Oh, I had a old comment on there. So, okay, so here is one of my videos. Okay, I'm on YouTube. With the vidIQ extension installed, there's a couple things that you get. One is this little bar up here. Okay, and if you click this down arrow, it's going to show me some stuff. And I like looking at this. It's a great way to research other people's channels. Okay, so this graph shows the number of views, and over time, how many views I've gotten. Okay, you can see where I started to take off right here in July of 2024. All right, based on views. If I want to look at the same graph based on subscribers, you click there. So, you know, you can look at this. I like looking at this for other people's channels as well. Also, there's a couple things here: analytics, edit video. I don't usually click on those, but if I go into my YouTube studio, that's what this is. Let's say we go to community. Okay, this is where I go in to answer all the questions that I have, or not questions, the comments, right, to my videos. What I like here is, for instance, I'll just pick on this last commenter here. You can see how many subscribers people have, okay, who are, you know, I don't know, I'm just interested in that. And if I can click on there and go to their channel and have a look at it, but I can also answer it. I like your style, buddy. Great. I'll give that a heart and a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Reply. So that's done. So yeah, so I like that. And what else does it show you? I guess when you're in content, there are some other things. Advanced, embed, yeah, optimize. You can export things in a CSV file. I don't usually do that though. So yeah, again, for me, it's the biggest thing is that I like this. Okay, but then the back end, you can also, like if you get the paid version of vidIQ, you can do some deeper research. Okay, I don't use that a lot. I honestly do most of my research either on YouTube directly, just searching for titles up here, and then with the help of ChatGPT, we'll hone in on what the title is going to be. So I use ChatGPT more than vidIQ, quite honestly. Alrighty. Simply just Krista. Krista, I believe, is in New Brunswick too, not very far from me. How you doing? Hi, Rob. I like experimenting on YouTube. I don't currently use Shorts, but I may consider doing so in that I'm using it as a trailer or mini clip to my long format video. What do you think? Sure. I think that's a great idea. It's been done before. Some people do it, have success with it. Some people don't. I will put that in the column of try it out, experiment and see how it does. I've not spent a lot of time doing shorts, but when I do, I just I'll use Opus Clip, right, to use AI to automatically create them, and then I'll upload them. But shorts aren't a big part of my strategy. A lot of people will use shorts to try to promote their longer form videos. So that's not a bad thing, right? Like identify one of your videos that's done really well and then try to make a short out of a particular part of that long. And then you can link that back to the long form if people want to see more. So, and I think that's what you're talking about. So yeah, I'd give it a shot and see what happens. Nothing to lose. You can't, contrary to what I've heard some people say, you can't hurt your channel, but you can't hurt a long form channel by also doing shorts. So you're not going to hurt anything by trying it. The reason I usually tell people, you don't have to worry about shorts too much if you want to make long form videos, just focus on longs. The reason I say that is because I look at them as two different platforms. Short form, long form, two different styles, like viewing styles, two different types of viewers. Obviously, there's some overlap, but in general, they're different. And just because of those differences, there's just a whole new set of rules that you have, or not necessarily rules, but things that make videos work. I'm not explaining this very well. My point is, it's hard enough to get good at one platform, call it YouTube long form video. Why complicate it? Why make things twice as hard on yourself by trying to get good on two platforms? YouTube Shorts, YouTube Longs, Instagram, TikTok, right? They all have their own little ways, different ways of growing, and none of them are easy. So my advice usually is to pick one, pick your favorite. Like some people prefer to make shorts than make longs. Well, then pick a short, pick a platform where you can make your shorts. And if you enjoy that more, then that's probably the better place for you. But yeah, so that my general advice is pick one and get really good at that. But if you want to dabble in the other ones and maybe try some things, 100% absolutely, I would do that. I would never dissuade anybody from trying new things. So go for it, Krista. I hope it works. Is it possible to learn editing if you aren't very computer savvy? I guess that would make it a little more difficult because obviously editing is done on a computer. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be. You could edit on your phone, I suppose. Some people do. I don't. But yeah, I mean, this is all tech we're talking about here. Editing, uploading to YouTube, using ChatGPT. That's all computer stuff. So you have to have some knowledge of all that. But I think with anything, the more you do something, the better you'll get at it. You have to have an open mind. You have to want to become computer savvy. Let's say that. Okay? If you are not computer savvy and you have no interest in learning anything about computers and they just frighten you and you just don't want to have anything to do with them, that's tough. To that, I would normally say maybe YouTube's not for you. I'm not saying that's the case for you, but I'm just saying, like, at some point, like, this has to be fun. This has to be fun, or you're going to fail before you even start. So, if you really want to do this, then you have to be a little bit open-minded and try to get a little bit computer savvy, and just try to lean into something if you're learning something and try to retain some of that. But that's easier said than done. I completely get that. Yeah, definitely possible to answer your question. Definitely possible. Definitely, highly possible. All right. Question: what if you have different videos? Should you delete the ones that aren't in your same niche? If you feel like they're hurting you, if you don't want it on your channel anymore, I wouldn't delete. I would probably unlist. Okay, if you think that having that video on your channel is hurting you, in that people are going to get confused as to what you're even talking about. But I don't worry about that too much. I've got some videos on my channel that have nothing to do with what I talk about now. I made a video last winter on how to tie a bowline, a knot that we use in sailing all the time. Has nothing to do with what I talk about on my channel, but I made it to kind of prove a point. Like, watch me make this video that has nothing to do with what you guys are interested in, and oh yeah, let's watch how bad this video does. The video did horribly. So, point made. But yeah, I would never delete. I would unlist if you feel like you want to get rid of a video off of your channel. And Anna, thank you. Thank you so much, Anna, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much for your generosity. That's awesome. You say, Rob, you inspired me to do lives consistently, and now I'm doing weekly lives. I'm in week number 4. Awesome. How's it going? That's great to hear. Warms my heart. I love it. I love hearing stories like that. I'm as you know, Anna, and a lot of you who listen to me here, I'm a huge believer in live streaming being a big help in growing a channel. If you are making videos consistently and you want to level up the growth of your channel, I think adding live streaming to your YouTube channel is the way to go. Especially like if you're, that's why I say, no, that's not why I say, but because I say that making videos that help people is a great idea and a great way to grow a channel. Because of that, if you're in that mindset that you want to help people and you're making videos that help people, then if you then make yourself available to your audience weekly or whatever in live streams, the people who subscribe to you and who want to hear more from you because you're being helpful would love the opportunity to show up in a live stream and talk to you live in real time. They'll love that. So yeah, and then, I mean, in your live streams, you can talk about the videos you made. Does anybody have any questions about those videos? Or here's what I'm working on for next week. What do you think? What other videos do you think I should make? Like, there's all kinds of opportunities for you to talk to your audience when you're doing live streams. And if you ever have something else to promote, like the YouTube Kickstart Kit, if anyone wants to download it, click the link below. Right? You can use a live stream to promote your own things, courses, consulting, merch, if you want to sell t-shirts and hats and mugs and stuff like that. Whatever it is, whatever your business is, live streaming is a perfect avenue for that. And yeah, so I noticed it really helped me. The other thing is, if you're trying to get monetized and you're having a hard time getting the watch hours, man, live streams can really, I mean, you need on average 333 watch hours per month over the course of a year. That 333 times 12 is 4,000. Okay. When I started my live streams, I think I was getting 200 and some hours a month, but then it was 300, 400, 800, 1,200. Like, that's every month, and that's how fast it grew because I showed up every week. Okay. I think I had 4 people in my first live stream, and then 7, and then 12, and right, just because I'm being helpful. Now, what do you talk about in your live streams? Not you specifically, Anna, but anybody. If you like the idea of going live, but you don't know what to talk about, you can talk about what it is, what your videos were about. Like I mentioned, what your videos were about, what you plan on doing in the future. If you're worried that nobody's going to show up to your first live stream, then a good idea would be to have something ready to talk about. You can give a bit of a speech, or what I like to do is, or what I did when I started, is a demonstration. I'd have something ready to demonstrate to people. It would be a tutorial. Instead of making a video on how to do something, video editing is what I was making videos on. Instead of making a video on that, I would actually do it live. Right? And if nobody showed up, nobody showed up. That's okay. At the end of it, I've got a video made teaching somebody how to do something. And I can then update the title and the thumbnail, and it's a video in my lives tab, but it's a video. Right? So do stuff that's helpful like that. And anytime you see somebody show up in the live chat, engage with them. Like, say, oh, hey, I notice we've got, 5 people in here. Let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to know. How's the weather there? Or what would you like to see me demonstrate? Or stuff like that. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling, but you get the idea. So thank you, Anna. Hey, Rob, if we experiment with subjects, hobby, but eventually decide on a niche to focus on, business, will the algorithm prefer that we start a new channel or stick with the same channel? Good question. One sec. It's going to depend on what's already on your channel. So the way I did it, I stuck with my channel. But I had over 3.5 years, I grew to a couple thousand subscribers. So, I didn't want to totally abandon that base, because when I made my pivot and started making videos about how to grow on YouTube, I started that by still talking to the same audience I had. People who were editing videos who I thought might want to have their own channels and who were older. Okay, so I still was kind of talking to the same people. If your new idea, your business idea, the people you're going to be talking to or want to reach out to in those videos, if they are completely different than who you've been talking to in your existing channel, then you might want to consider starting a new channel. If your old channel is established. If you've just started and you don't have much on there, you don't have many subscribers anyways, then you could just do it on the existing channel. You can rename the channel if you want, right? You can even hide, so like I mentioned to somebody earlier, you can not hide, but unlist any videos that you don't think apply anymore to what you're doing going forward. Okay? You could do that if you feel like they're going to hold you back. So, but it's either way, I would lean towards keeping your existing channel. But again, I don't know. I don't have all the data. Like if you have 500 subscribers and you were talking about fishing, but now you're going to be talking about cars, right? Maybe it's best just to, okay, that was a fishing channel. I'm going to start a new channel. I got a new idea. This is going to be a business. Let's start from scratch. That's not necessarily a bad thing. You're not going to lose subscribers. Yes, you're starting from zero, but you're starting in the right place with a focused idea. Okay, so you could very quickly, like if it took you 3 years to get 500 subscribers, and if you continued with that channel, YouTube is not going to think your videos are good if the new stuff you're posting, your old audience is not watching. They're going to think they're not very good videos, right? So your 500 subscribers, you might kind of stay stagnant for a long time. Whereas if you start a new channel from zero, if your content is engaging and targeted, maybe it takes you a bit of time to get 50 subscribers, whatever, but if you keep talking to that same audience, it'll grow quickly. You could make up those 500 subscribers very quickly and way beyond. Alrighty. Oh, there we go. Now debating if my 3-minute daily video should be a new channel or shorts. It's a different topic than my channel, but shorts are separate. I don't want to annoy subs though. Thoughts? If it's a different topic, well, a better way to put it is if those videos, if the shorts are for a different audience, I'd put them on a new channel, is what I would do, honestly. Yeah, shorts and longs are kind of, think of them as separate platforms, but they are still on your one channel, right? So if somebody watches your shorts and they ever go to your channel to see what else you have, and you've got a whole bunch of long form videos on something completely different, that might throw them off a bit. So I would put it on a different channel, is what I would do if you have two completely separate topics. Let's see. Just getting started, learn tons from you, struggling with editing, suggestions. Suggestions for editing. I mean, there's a lot to edit. My main thing would be to keep it simple, right? Try not to overcomplicate things. There is so much stuff you could do with editing, but most of it is unnecessary, right? Especially if you're starting out. So yeah, try to keep it simple. Pick one platform. Don't spend too much. I mean, I can give you suggestions. I love Camtasia. I find that very easy to learn for beginners. I've got a link to it below if you're interested. But there's also Descript. Some people like Descript. iMovie is fairly easy to learn. If you're on a Mac, that's free. It's already on your computer or phone. Yeah, those are some of the easier ones to learn. Yeah, but once you learn one, like if you ever learn one and then you decide, you know what, I want to be able to do more and I can't do it with this, learning another one is not nearly as hard as learning your first. Okay, but yeah, my advice is to start simple. Like just do a 5-minute recording of you talking to the camera, bring that file into a video editing program and just start playing around. Like try to cut off the beginning, cut off the end, cut off a sentence in the middle and smush it together. Maybe try adding some text if you want. You don't have to. I mean, to me, the minimum video editing would be trim off the beginning, any false starts you had before you started. Well, first of all, go right back. To make things easy on yourself, if you're going to record yourself talking about something, press record on your camera and let it run the whole time. You're going to capture mistakes and everything. That's okay. Just let it record. Hopefully you've got enough space in whatever device you're using to record to. Like for example, if I'm making a 15-minute video, I may record for an hour, right, to get the 15 minutes, but not usually that long anymore. Then when you're finished, bring that in to your editing program, cut off the beginning, all the bad takes, cut off the end where you reached up and pressed stop, right, just cut that off. And then any mistakes in the middle, cut them out. That's it. That's basic editing. Then you can start thinking about, okay, well, do I want to add music? Okay. Do I want to add text on screen? Okay, look at that. So, but that can come later, right? You can just learn one thing at a time. That's my best advice. One thing at a time. Question, do you think it's a good idea to change the thumbnail for each of my lives for the replay to better reflect what I focused on in the live? Currently, all my thumbnails are basic. I'm going live. Good question. You can. I want to show you something. If I go to my channel here, here, get rid of this vidIQ stuff. If I go to my lives, okay, so this is my live tab. These are all my live streams. All right, as you can see, I haven't really changed my thumbnails. Okay, they're all pretty generic, and I leave them that way. If I go all the way down, I've done a lot. Okay, back here, so this is 11 months ago. If you notice, so this one here, I've got free resources, video editing tips, live Q&A. So I put, okay, no, that was the same for a lot of them. Okay, no, this one over here. Over 40 beginners, live Q&A, free resources. So my point is, a year ago, or longer than a year ago, I would change my thumbnails to reflect what I talked about in there. But I would only pick like 3 things because, you know, the text is too small. This one here, watch me edit a video in live. No, watch me edit a video live. So me today, I think that text is too small. So you have to be careful with that. But like back here, that's what I was doing. I was picking 3 points that I talked about and I put them on my thumbnail. That's what I used to do. But that took time, right? It took time. And now if I scroll all the way back to the top, now what I do, my live streams are typically longer now, and it would take me a long time. Like some people used to ask me, why don't you go through your lives and put in chapters for everything you talked about, all the questions you answered. I'd like to see chapters so I can click on a chapter and go to your answer right away. I'm sure people would love it if I did that, but how many hours is that going to take me to do that? Too many hours. So I don't. That's the reason for that. But now, if it was a video, I might consider it, like a video on demand. But because it's live, and yes, it is a video on demand after the fact, but because I go live every week, a week from today, very few people are going to be interested in my live that I did today. Like, so most of my live streams don't get views after a week has passed because I now have a new live. Okay, they could go back and watch them. When I say they, I mean you guys. You could go back and watch these, but I don't get many views at all after the week. So because of that, I don't worry too much if I don't have things cataloged well or the thumbnail done well enough. Right? I don't worry about that too much. Now this one here, I actually did. That's the live video, the live stream from last week. That thumbnail is a little bit different. I did go back in and change that one just because it was a little bit different. It was a different live stream. So I wanted to make the thumbnail look a little different. Okay, so that's why I did it. I did it in that case. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, same audience, different topic. If it's the same audience, Rebecca, you can do it on your same channel. You could. If you don't think there's going to be any confusion there, then absolutely you could do it on the same channel. It's not easy to find a niche. Yeah. Sit down and brainstorm is my best advice there. Write down everything you are either good at or very interested in and start there. And maybe there's something in there. Maybe combine a couple things and, right, you know, maybe, I don't know, can't even think of an idea. Which means I'm starting to get tired. How are we doing? We're coming up on 2 hours. I won't go just yet. I basically copied your live stream thumbnails, but realized my topic for each live is a different and not a Q&A. Curious for your input on what would attract people to watch the replay. Yeah, it's hard to get people to watch the replay. Like I said, I don't get a lot of replay views. Some, but not too many. To me, the value in the live stream is when you're live, not so much the replay. I think, like now, for this live stream right here, I think this is the value right here. I'm interacting with you guys as much as I can, answering questions. You guys are in here. And oh, by the way, I'm really building up watch hours if I needed to, right? If I'm not monetized yet. It doesn't matter as much once you're monetized, but to get there, it's huge. But I think better, you're building it's community building, and you hear about this a lot, but it's a big thing. Like, people are out there looking to become part of a community and meet other people, and I see it in the chat here all the time, and I love it. It's awesome. It's actually kind of a nice side benefit to me not being able to answer all the questions. You guys end up talking amongst yourselves. And I think that's great. You know, you guys are meeting each other and you're showing up in each other's live streams. And I love that. Like, that's awesome. So we're building a community here, and I think that's a big part of it. I don't do these live streams to make money from them. I did some of you might know, a couple weeks ago, I experimented with the monetization. I always have monetization turned off during my live streams because I don't want to be I don't want you to be interrupted. No, I don't want you to have to be interrupted. I don't know how to say this. If I had it on, I would be interrupted by ads because YouTube's going to want to put an ad in front of you if you don't have YouTube Premium. And when that ad's done and you come back to the live, you will have missed 30 seconds of me. And I don't want that for you. So I have it off. But a couple weeks ago, when I learned that YouTube made a decision, oh, well, we want people to run monetization during their lives, so now we're going to run the ads beside you so you won't disappear during the ad. But your volume's going to be lower is what I found out. So I did that as an experiment, and it turned out for that 3-hour live stream that I did, I think I earned an additional $8. And that's a channel where I usually get between 100 and 200 people, peak viewers in these live streams. That's a lot. Well, I think it's a lot. I'm sure there's tons that do way better than that. But if you want like a benchmark, so for the size of my channel and the size of my live streams, I made $8 over 3 hours. And in exchange for me inconveniencing you guys about every 5 minutes through the course of 3 hours, right? Not worth it. I don't want that for you. It's not worth it to me. So good. It was an experiment. Like I say, try things, see how it works out. So I tried that. I decided I don't want that. So I leave it off. Now, when this live stream is over, I will go in, I'll turn it on. I'll turn on monetization because when people watch it on the replay, I am paused while an ad plays. And then when the ad's over, I'm resumed so that you won't miss anything. It's just like a regular video, right? But still, I don't make a ton of money. Like I might, well, I'll show you. You didn't ask, but I'll show you anyways. Let's go into content. I'll show you how much money I make on my live streams. How do I do this? Okay, so, no, those are videos. So go to live. Let's go to last week's. Here's last week's live stream. It's got 2,800 views now, which is great. Let's just go into the analytics. All right, so it's still picking up some views, which is actually, yeah, because it was a bit of a different one, I think. But there we go. So in the first, it's Tuesday, November 4th today. So in 1 week, I've earned $38, okay, from that video. You might think that's not bad. That's not bad. You do that 4 times a week. You know, that's whatever that is, $150, $140, whatever. That's pretty good. But again, I did not have monetization on during that. Okay, so that's just after the fact. That might be a bad example. If I pick another random one here, here's one, 2 hours. If I go to analytics, so this one's been live for 27 days, so almost a month. Okay, $37 in a month that one made. Okay, so and it gets the odd views. It's had 8 views in the last 2 days, so not too much after the fact. Most of the views happen early on. All right. So yeah, so it's not for the money. it's for the community building and me showing up and trying to help you guys as best I can. And in time, some of you may become clients, right? You may become coaching clients. You might decide to jump on a one-on-one call with me, or buy a course, or whatever else I may offer in the future, right? So, and just watching my other videos, right? That I make money from those through AdSense. So yeah, YouTube live streams, fantastic way to level up the growth of your channel. That's the way I like to look at it. I could have just said that. Late to the party. That's all right. Better late than never. Maybe I can slip a question in. What are your thoughts, experiences with EV Mux? What is that? I don't even know what that is. Should I know what that is? What is EV Mux? I'm going to feel dumb if I'm supposed to know what this is. I'm a little bit tired, so... A live streaming and recording platform similar to StreamYard. Oh, okay. Web-based live production, similar to StreamYard or Ecamm Live, but entirely browser-based, like Restream and StreamYard. I've never used it. So, no thoughts. Sorry. But YouTube can be your friend there. Use YouTube and try to find some videos on it, and you might find a good review for it. All right. All righty. Thanks for looking it up. No problem. What mic do you use for outside? Outside, I use the DJI mic. DJI mic. Ta-da. It should turn on there. Yep, whoops. Turn it on. I have to hide my face so it focuses on this. So it comes with two mics, okay, like this. And the receiver that plugs into, that's USB-C there, but if you have an older iPhone, you can use, there's a lightning over here, a lightning adapter that you can replace that with. Okay, I plug that into my phone and I put the mic here, and that's what I use for all. So that's the DJI mic. It's the one, not the 2 or the 3. So I bought this a little over a year ago, and I love it. And if you want a bit of a deal on these, get this one and not the 2 or the 3 because it's still really good, and you can save some bucks. So, and especially if you like the sound of my voice in my videos, then that's what I use. Alrighty. Question, I'm documenting a YouTube journey, my YouTube journey from 0 to 1,000 and beyond. What do you think of that format? I started with coding, but found I'm more passionate about YouTube growth and building a personal brand. I think that's great. I think that's a great idea. Even if it's not about YouTube, I know you asked specifically about YouTube, but if that's what you would want to document, great. But I feel like, and I should make a video about this, or maybe I did. I know it's a thought I had a few weeks ago, but somebody comes up to me and says, I'm not good at anything. I don't have any hobbies. I'm not exceptional at anything. I've got nothing to talk about in YouTube videos, but I want to make a YouTube channel. I want to grow a channel successfully. My favorite idea for somebody like that is, if you don't have a hobby, then think of one. Think of something that you might want to get good at. Maybe it's guitar. Maybe you've never picked up a guitar before, but you want to learn how to play the guitar. Then I would say what you could do is you could start a YouTube channel documenting your journey to becoming a guitar player, right? However long that takes, and you can frame it however you want. Maybe you want to be able to play guitar by July 4th of next year, right? And you want to document your journey. I want to do this, or say 6 months. I'm going to document my journey, 6 months, learning how to, and then you just make videos on everything you're doing. Today I'm learning these chords. Tomorrow, the next day, another day, you might go and look at a new guitar, or buy guitar straps, or buy guitar picks. I don't know. I don't play guitar. Just an idea. Just pick a hobby and And I guess then you'd be picking two hobbies, YouTube and whatever hobby you're going to document with YouTube. I like that idea. Anyways, one of my favorites. So, we just got a super thanks. Thank you so much, Paola. I really appreciate that. Appreciate the generosity. Thank you. I hope you're getting some value from this. I have a lot of fun doing them. Hey, Rob, do you think it's good to A/B test titles? I actually did. For the first time, I did, was it yesterday's video? I think it was yesterday's. Sometimes, sure. I don't think you have to do it all the time, but if you're struggling with your title idea and you want to know what you want to know what works best, then absolutely give it a shot. What I will say, well, yeah, you can. I don't recommend A/B testing both titles and thumbnails at the same time. It's got to be one or the other, because otherwise you won't know what works best. But if I come back here, go to my videos section, you can see here, this last video here, the one that I put out yesterday, see that where it says A/B test completed? If I go in here, now will it show me what the test is? View test report. Yeah, there you go. So these are the two titles I tried. The YouTube experiment and the YouTube experiment, are they messing with us? In brackets. Okay. I was going to go with this one first. Actually, no. I did decide to go with this one, but it was within a couple of minutes of going public with that title that I decided, because I wasn't sure. Should I put that in brackets afterwards or not? Right? I thought this looked cleaner. Then I thought, well, let's test it, see which works best. So this ran for about a day. It was until this morning I checked on it, and I noticed that this one had 54% versus 45%. This one won. So there was a button here. You can't see it now. There was a button here that said stop test and set as your title. And I clicked that for this one. So this is now the title. This one lost. And you could keep it running for longer if you want to. I usually run tests usually only for a few hours, and then I'll notice if something's clear ahead, I'll just stop the test and go with that one right then. Okay, but this one I forgot to check again yesterday, and I checked this morning, and so that's when I set that. Alrighty. Hey Lori, how you doing? If I was to do an interview type episode, can both myself and the person being interviewed upload to each of our channels, or only one of us can do it? I think there's a way you can both do it. I've not done that though. I've not done that myself, but I know somebody who probably has, and I think that's Karen. Karen from New Zealand, who quite often will do live streams with guests, but her guests also live stream it. That might be a StreamYard thing. I'm not sure. But through Ecamm, you know what, Lori? You're in the live streaming Made Easy program, so I will get back to you with that, probably in there. That's a good question. I'm going to write down LSME Lori's question. Leave myself a note. I'll get back to you with that. I do not know the answer right now. I'm sure there's a way. I just don't know how to do it. I've never done it. All right. All right. All right. Another drink. My throat's getting dry. I'm past 2 hours now. But that's okay. Sorry. Not necessarily a live stream episode. If it's not a live stream, then yeah, if you do... Now I have to remind myself what the question was. Searching for your name. Okay, if I was doing an interview type episode, okay, but not necessarily live, can both myself and the person being interviewed upload to each of our channels? So yes, so this makes it a bit easier. Depending on how you're capturing things, like the way I would probably do it is I would probably capture everything raw, and I think you can do that inside Ecamm Live. You can capture both feeds. You can even do that through Zoom. Even you could have a Zoom call, and each of you record each other, and then. But you can also do that in live stream, in Ecamm Live, and record the audio. And you can have everything separate. Then you bring it all into your editing program, and you can edit it however you want. And if you want to send it, all that raw stuff, the 2 video feeds and the 2 audio feeds, or maybe the audio and the video together for each of you, send that off to the other person, and they can edit a version for them as well, right? But now that I say that, maybe that's not what you asked. Maybe you want to know if the exact same video can be uploaded to both. I would say no. YouTube doesn't love duplication. So, what you can do, one thing you can do is you can collaborate. There's a new collaboration tool that will allow one of you to upload it, but then you invite the other person to be a collaborator, and then both of you are kind of linked. Like, only the person who uploaded it would basically receive the views and potentially money if you're monetized from the video. But the other person can also see the analytics, and that video would be perhaps it could be put in front of both of your audiences. Okay, so for instance, if you and I did a one-on-one chat, and I recorded it, say, and I uploaded it, I could invite you to be a collaborator on this, and then both of our avatars would be like down here. If I share my screen again, change here. If I go back to a video, and I'll just click on a video like this.
You succeed at this YouTube thing.
So down here, where it shows my avatar, there'd be 2 avatars there, mine and yours. And then, when people who in my community who are notified when I come out with a new video, they would be notified to watch that, as would your community. Okay, so that's one thing you could do. But you could also, if you both wanted to upload something to your channels, then, I would make the videos different in some way. Maybe the intro is different. Maybe the outro is probably the intro. Make the intro slightly different for your version as it is for the other person's version. If they're slightly different that way, but the main part of it in the middle is the same, that'd be fine, right? And you could even link to each other in your description, right? You can link to that person and just say, we collaborated, and right. So, yeah, there's all kinds of different things you could do with that. But if you both edit the video the way we see fit, it should work. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Just whoever is recording everything, send a copy to the other person, and then they can record it the way or edit it the way they want to. Alrighty. Loser. So when you test 2 titles, those who comment or view the lower are not lost. No. If you test 2 titles, no comments are lost. It's just, no comments are lost. And no views are lost, right, when I pick a winner. It's just that from that point on, only the winning title will be shown for anybody new who's going to be watching the video. Or anybody old who's going to rewatch the video. Down to the bottom again. You can use StreamYard to record an interview with someone and then give them a copy of the recorded file. Perfect. Yes, you can do that with StreamYard. I think you can do that with any of the programs. I could do that here in Ecamm as well. And Ecamm also separates the audio, like my audio from somebody else's audio. And you can do that in Zoom as well. What I like about Ecamm is it has Zoom integration, so that you can bring people into your Ecamm from the Zoom meeting that you have running in the background, and you can record it live or record it raw and then put it together afterwards. All right. one more thing before I go. Have to say this one more time. If anybody is interested in my YouTube Kickstart kit, I've just put it on the screen. There's a link to it down below. You can download that, and then you'll get an email with a link to download it. What else? What else? Next live is next week. I think I'm going to have another video out before the end of the week. I'm thinking Thursday morning. I'm planning on putting a video out, and then the next one after that will be Monday. So 2 more videos before I go live again, which will be next Tuesday. All right, so I think that's it. I think I'm going to draw the line there because I'm getting hungry and I'm a little tired. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you got some valuable information from this. If anybody has any questions at all for me, feel free to reach out to me. I got a new website. If anybody hasn't seen that yet, go check that out. I'm proud of it, as I have to be. Right there, the new web. Oh, I gotta get rid of that. There's a new website. If you want to reach out to me, down at the bottom here, there's a contact me page down there. If you want to learn about what else I have to offer, you can click start here up there or right here. That'll take you to another video if you want to watch me for a minute and 4 seconds there. There's another link for that Kickstart kit. If you haven't joined Creators Cove, you can join that here. That's a free community of people like you and me who want to start YouTube channels and maybe have some questions and maybe want to chat with other like-minded people. You can join that community there. I've got a stats tracker you can download. I've got some courses. Right now I've got these on sale. I've got a bundle where you can get them all if you want. And then, of course, if you're interested in a coaching call, you can book a call right there. That's all I got. Any other final questions? I don't see any at the very bottom. All right, I'm going to sign off. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.